And so that is why I will be voting Republican for the first time.
Well, it's happening.
So amazing. Everyone, please welcome to the show, Ty Smith.
What is really your Fokios and Fokaramas? I'm Ty Smith, Model Renaissance Man. Welcome to my channel, Model Renaissance Man. If you are someone that's been subscribed to my channel for a long time, double check to make sure that you are. But if you are fairly new to the channel, get an idea of what this channel is about. What do? Go to my channel, click on playlist. All these different things I do on this channel. See all these different thumbnails? Those are all different categories of things that I do on this channel, from comedy to cooking to DIY when it comes to fixing cars. There's a lot of things I do on this channel. So check the channel out in its entirety before you subscribe. I'm pretty sure you'll find something on here that you like. What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys all being here. Make sure you do everything I told you to do in the intro of this video. The intro is there for people that have been visiting this channel and never seen that part right there. Didn't know all the things I do on the channel. Make sure you pay attention to everything that's up here, all right? I know it's a long intro, but I have to let the people know so y'all don't hit me with all these questions. Where can I find this? Where can I find that? It's in the intro. That is spelled right for that channel, okay? On Rumble. I know it's not spelled right, but it's spelled right for the channel. Anyway, you guys all saw the intro there, and I know a lot of people are like, what in the world is that about? Well, what it is that you see that there's starting to be a trend of black people seeing what's been happening to us for the longest. And one of the things I want to tell y'all, especially amongst my young mentees in the community, is that don't count them out. They really are at a point where they think about a lot of things right now. The ones that are the younger generation, especially the blacks, they don't really have that mentality that a lot of older blacks have had, where if our grandmothers and grandfathers face racism, they tell us this is what the white people did to us and and that's why it is. And they still have a hard time understanding that we don't see the world like that, because the world is no longer like that. But to them, in their minds, the world can be like that everywhere at all times, but it's not. So what makes a lot of people pissed off is that these young people, black ones, are asking questions. They, a lot of them get upset, like, why they want me to see racism in things that's not there? Why they trying to get me to see racism when I don't see it? A lot of my young folks say this all the time. They get frustrated with it. It's almost like it's this pure pressure from a lot of families that if they don't vote Democrat, or if they don't go around purposely looking for racism, then something can happen to them. And I love it because they listen to the stories I tell them, and they see, I always say, well, let's test it out and see. Mr. Ty, I know Mr. Ty's a good guy. He's trying to help y'all out, but it don't mean no. Mr. Ty told us that what you guys are saying about all this, he wants us to go out there and see if it's for real. Now, why is it that the parents would discourage the kids to go out there and see if this whole thing about, oh, a white person looking at me, that must mean they're racist. Oh, I walked into a store and a white person looked at me, they think I'm stealing. Why would you want a person to go around like that with that in their head all the time? You're looking for something that's not there. You can make a problem out of nothing. Point of it is, a lot of black folks are starting to see, and it's starting to turn. And I understand this, y'all. It's still a good chance that the Democrats they're still going to get majority of the black vote. We know there's not going to be no overnight thing, but people are starting to see, especially in cities like where I came from, Chicago. They're starting to see, based off of what? The actions of this current department. And a lot of folks like, man, I was doing better under Trump. A lot of blacks are saying that. But the mainstream media is not going to show you guys that. It takes channels like mine, Crowder, all kinds of different channels that goes out and do interviews and show you guys what people from the hood and what blacks are saying. And a lot of them are saying they were doing better under Trump. That's just a fact. What I also like, and I keep on saying, let's go, is that Trump's biggest influx of blacks that are voting for him are young black male, or just black males, period. Love it. Because that means if these, especially if there's some single young black men having got it, they going to be starting a family. That lets me know where to kind of sort of speak, kind of let me know what their mindset is. And it's a great possibility that these young men most likely going to end up getting a conservative wife, or something along that lines, or a wife, girlfriend, whatever it may be, that's going to be along that same type of principles. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good chance that we can start with that and not being blindsided by this bullcrap they're trying to feed us. Anyway, I done gave y'all all my good nuggets. I'm supposed to say this after I show y'all this.
We're so angry here in Chicago, which has been a Democratic stronghold for most of its eternity, we have to stop marrying ourselves to party, stop voting along ethnic lines, because we're seeing that that is not working for us. And so that is why I will be voting Republican for the first time.
Well, that Chicago voter was with me last week. She's Kara Truss. And she got a lot of pickup. That went viral. A lot of people talking about what she said on The Focus. About that same time last week, former President Trump was giving the keynote address to the Black Conservative Federation. He laid out a path to securing more black voter support, and a top Democrat admits, this could be trouble for Biden.
I don't dismiss the issue of young black men.
Time out. Did he just say young black men? Isn't that what they try to get Trump for? How come CNN ain't called that man out right now? He's a racist. Can you believe he said black? He said black. You know, like when Donald Trump said all I see is the black ones? Oh, he just got done saying, young black men. What do you mean by that, sir? Are you racist? I told y'all, play the same games they play. But will you hear anything? No. You know what you're going to hear? Like I thought.
And I think that's something that the Biden campaign and Democrats need to keep an eye on, because I don't think it's just a statistical blip. This has been a trend line.
Republican Senator Tim Scott of the great state of South Carolina, member of the Foreign Relations Committee and the former 2024 presidential candidate. Great to have you in focus today. Welcome.
Thank you, Harris.
I want to jump right in here. Could you hear what Kara Truss was saying? So it's not just in that state, it's also in your home state. I mean, I'll show you that in just a minute, but I just want to get your top line thought on all of it.
Well, without any question, I went to the south side of Chicago when I was running for president, and the one thing I understood clearly, meeting with a guy named Reverend Brooks, black folks on the south side of Chicago, after 100 years of a monopoly of the Democrat Party, they are looking for results. We're talking about Black History Month. Let's talk about black results. Under President Trump, we were certainly better off. I mean, Harris, you know the numbers, but let me just break them down very quickly. Number one, economically, we had the lowest unemployment rate in the history of our country. But most importantly, the poorest Americans at the bottom grew wages faster than at the top.
No matter what the race.
We also saw, exactly.
High tide.
Here's the key. Exactly. If, in fact, you have the kind of economic policies that lead to success, it leads to success for black folks, for Hispanic folks, for Asian folks, for white folks. We don't want just black folks to do well in America. We want everyone to do well. But we particularly want the lowest quintile to actually exceed the top quintile. Only under President Trump have we seen that kind of success. But beyond that, black schools, HBCUs, receive the highest level of funding ever, and the first time in the history of the country, President Trump made it permanent.
So it's interesting. You know, much of the wider media, legacy, liberal, whatever you want to call them, that actually is part of Black History Month now. I mean, if they would talk about it. But greater,
exactly.
and you and I both have said this, it's American history. It's our shared history together.
Yes.
And it's a high tide lifts all boats. I want
Absolutely.
to talk with you a little bit about what's happening, though, specifically in places like New York and Chicago. I'm reading that the president might have a rally here in New York. What is he tapping into in communities of color that has their attention?
Two things, Harris. Number one, the frustration that comes from the last 3.5 years of delusion. The fact of the matter is that President Biden has been delusional. He has assumed that just because you're black, you're supposed to be voting for Democrats. He actually said, you can't be black if you don't vote for a Democrat.
Yes, he did.
That is just insane. And the other thing that President Trump is tapping into is optimism. Black Americans, like the rest of our country, we want to be more optimistic about our future, more optimistic about our kids' ability to exceed our success. How does that happen? By having a president who believes in the future of America more than they do the past. President Trump is talking to specifically young Americans, black ones, white ones, all of them, about the fact that with him as our commander-in-chief, we close our southern border, we have law and order in our streets, and we invest in every single zip code, quality education, allowing every American to experience their American dream.
If he were to make it that far in November, one of the things that he'll have to do something about, I would imagine, according to voters who did not go to college and don't want to be paying off other people's loans, is the very issue that the current president has bucked the ruling of the U.S. Supreme Court on that, and is just going to open up the coffers of our taxpayer dollars and pay off people's school loans. I do want to get to this.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so y'all saw that. You heard that. See what I'm saying? Absolutely 100% amazing. And that woman has gone viral, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of her family members, and I'm with you, sis, I'm from that area. A lot of people are going to give you flack, but you're going to have a whole lot of family members that's going to be just want to talk to you, see, why do you think that? They really going to be interested in it because they know something's not right. They know that if you've been doing this and all of a sudden if it caused you to turn, a lot of folks are going to try to say, oh, she only turned because they paid her to do that. Like they always did with me. Every interview I did with Fox, Newsmax, OAN, RT, Sky News, any interview that I ever done, Benny Johnson, they always turn around and say that they were paying us off. That's the best they can do because it can't be that we did this of our own intelligence because we see all the bull crap. But you also going to have ones that's going to really come and ask you, why do you say that? Can you show me? And because they didn't know. And they'll tell you too, they won't say it in front of all their family members, but they will say it to you in private. I didn't know that. Oh, wow. How come they didn't tell us that? Well, my mom didn't tell me that. My grandma and them didn't tell me that. I didn't know that. My grandma and them didn't know that. My grandfather didn't know that. They were just told this. And it will blow your mind that we've been under this crazy guise, almost like a curse of doing something one way and one way on without ever questioning it. And I'm glad that people are waking up and seeing through all the bull crap again. Shout out to the young black men and the black men, period, who are becoming Trump's biggest supporters and turning over and going towards that way. And like I was saying earlier, great. If these young men are single in their 20s, whatever like that, they're not married yet, that means there's a good chance that they're going to be bringing their family into the truth of the matter too. And like I told you guys earlier as well, they are seeing through the bull crap. They're seeing that they're getting pressured to vote Democrat, or they're being pressured to go out and just look for racism and look for a problem that's not there. These young men are engineers. These young men are doctors. These young men are architects, construction, computer sciences, computer programming, cybersecurity. And these guys are like, I get along with all my friends. I get along with everybody. I don't understand why they trying to get me to see this and because it's not there. Now, are there racist people? Heck yeah. But they're not white. Not all of them. Are there racist people? Yes. But they're not black. Not all of them. Are there racist people? Yes. But they're not Asian. Not all of them. Are there racist people? Yes. They're Native American, but not all of them. Yeah. That too. Because y'all don't want to go down that road how Native Americans had you Negroes in slavery as well. And not only that, when slavery ended, they held on to y'all. But we ain't going to go there though, huh? I know. Y'all don't want to go down that road. Anyway, y'all, you guys like this? Well, then hit that thumbs up button. Do it right now. You got 4 seconds. 3, hit the like button for me so this video can be pushed down the YouTube algorithm, all right? Appreciate you all. Don't forget, get into those cell phones. Let one person know about this channel. Let them know that this is spreading and you are a part of this huge movement that's going on right now, because a lot of us are done with the bull crap. You are my brother. You are my sister. You are like an aunt to me. You are like an uncle to me. That's what you are to me. And it doesn't matter what the shade of the color of your skin, it does not matter. Any type of wisdom that I can get from you, any type of knowledge I can get from you, any type of teaching I can get from you, I don't care what color you are, because all it's going to do is make me that greater of a person, getting some type of wisdom, knowledge, and skill from you that I did not have. And now I've obtained that. And that's how I look at every last person I meet and come across, plain and simple. Anybody's going to enhance my life? Let's do it. All right, folks, let me hear what y'all got to say on this comment right here. I'm Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man. Ooh, by the way, before I do that, who y'all think is going to be Donald Trump's pick? Let's hear that. Now we'll close it out. I'm Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, hoping and praying that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.